Let's see. Hello, 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 people. And welcome, Claire. Let me refresh my things. See. Hello, 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 people. Hold on. It's going to be an echo for just a second. Yeah. Working out the kinks. All right. My apologies. Claire, are you still there?
I am still here. You still hear me?
Here, and I don't know why.
You don't hear me? I hear you.
Still here. I know why. Because I muted my whole freaking computer. Hold on.
You don't hear me?
Yes, I do.
I hear you.
I hear you now.
Okay.
I know why.
Okay.
Because I muted my whole freaking computer.
Mute your YouTube for sure.
Yes, I do. I did. I hear you now. Okay. Hold on. I'm just going to take that out for now.
Mute your YouTube.
I am.
Okay.
Sorry.
There you go. That's okay. It happens. I've done it myself, just.
I think I had 2 tabs open for it. Hi, everyone. Maybe. Welcome to the train wreck. How are you?
There'll be no accidents. Everybody off the tracks. This
Claire's
going to
come every week because this is so put together and awesome. Yeah.
Hey, I will come every week. I'll come anytime you want because, everybody makes mistakes and it's fine. What is a little reverb between friends? It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Yeah.
That's for later.
Yeah, that is for later. That is
after this stream. At about midnight, it gets a little more adult and we're transitioning to Claire's channel for a little midnight madness. So
oh boy,
have fun here. It's going to be even more fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope that we're expecting me to be a little more respectful. It is before midnight, people. So this will be be the respectful part of the evening.
Only a little bit.
Only a little. Actually, we got a good topic though.
You do.
First I'd like to ask, I hope that the people in the chat, have any of you seen any of the Black Mirror episodes? If not this particular one, any of them, because I am such a fan of Black Mirror.
Yeah. Same with me. We just recently found that out that we both love Black Mirror. And that was one of the things that I wanted, one of the shows I wanted to cover and talk about, because I think you and I haven't something in common that our in-person friends, if we should say, may not have the same interest in that we do.
You mean the fascination with the macabre, dead people, serial killers, history,
that too, absolutely.
Science, all that nerdy good stuff.
Right?
No, I'm I tell everybody I'm a nerd. I own it. Dude,
John,
I like this
stuff. You don't
stuff.
know what Black Mirror is?
Oh, John, it's on Netflix. If you want the cold, hard, brutal Black Mirror, watch season 1, episode 1. If you want to go in a little softer, watch any other season, any other episode.
I don't know. Do you really think any of them are? Oh my goodness.
No, I mean season 1, episode 1, the politician and the pig. You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about. That's all I'm going to say. But
I actually have a theory, which we can probably talk about more next week. Is I have this theory that not everybody on the season 1 of Black Mirror has the same first episode.
On a theory on season 1, the first episode, you have a theory?
I have a theory on the whole series of season 1 that not everyone has the same episode 1, meaning my first episode 1 was not the one that you're talking about.
It wasn't?
No. And I've talked to several people when I first was trying to get people to watch this series, which a good way to kind of sum it up. I think
they may have done that after the backlash, because I watched it when it first came out. But anyway, let's save that and let's do episode 1. Okay, on another date, because I guess now's a good time to tell them that we're going to keep torturing them with this all the time. Black Mirror episode. We're going to be getting into these episodes and try to tell you people which one we're going to be watching ahead of time and commenting on, because they're really that good. They
really are. It's kind of similar. If someone had a good explanation for it, it's like a modern day Twilight Zone, because every episode is different. And it kind of covers like a social topic, but in a kind of disturbing way.
Yeah, like in an entertaining way, in a very subtle way, but you don't walk away from an episode without thinking about something. Like they're really trying to make a statement, but in an entertaining kind of, Hollywood style way. They're not hitting you over the head with it, unless of course you watch the one with the pig. That was definitely bold-faced in your face.
Yeah.
Hit you on the head.
Hitting you in the rear without giving too much away.
Yeah. And that's not going to be the next one we do. We're just, like, boy, do we know how to hook or what? We're like pulling them in with the pig before they even get to this episode.
It's all about the pig.
It's all about the pig, the duck, whatever. We just say yay porn, But
yep. So speaking of Hollywood too, we're talking about, if you haven't seen from the thumbnail, the I guess theory, conspiracy, I don't know which one you would want to say, that this episode, the Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2, that's starring Miley Cyrus, was very eerily similar, if not really kind of alluding to the Britney Spears conservatorship.
It is, because like that episode, just for those of you who haven't seen it, we'll give you a little synopsis. It was about a pop star, very famous, who's being taken care of by her aunt for years. And she got famous and got bigger, and how much they controlled every aspect of her life, what she's, where she's living, what she's doing, right? JC, like everything. Yeah. So it related very well to what Britney has been talking about while she keeps bringing this forward about how long her 13-year conservatorship is. And yeah, she had a problem, but is it forever? Right. And it was all about the conflict between the two of them, and how much power they took away from her. Here she is. She's the star. She's making all the money. All of them have their lifestyle based on her and what she's doing and like what they did. And in this particular episode, they brought in AI technology, right, JC?
Yeah, when I first watched it, I thought that's what this episode was all about. Like, I had heard, I think afterward, that maybe it was supposed to be about a Disney star, is all that I heard, but I never really knew that it was supposed to be about Britney until, honestly, when I heard that recording of her in speaking to the judge, I was like, wait a second, this sounds eerily familiar. And that episode popped up in my head. I'm like, holy crap, this is real. This is real. This can't be real. And I think you hit the nail on the head. It's an abuse of power.
Yeah, they stripped her of every power they possibly could. In the episode, they stripped it down to what she's eating. She hadn't had takeout in God knows how long. They had a doctor visiting her and giving her medication that she doesn't even know she's or consenting to taking at all. What songs she could play. She was starting, she's growing up. She was 22 years old. She started, starting to get a little macabre. She was going into her dark ages, so to speak. And she wanted to sing things that were more poignant and more relatable to society and what was going on in the world. And, darker
sunshine and poppy.
Yeah, and she didn't want to shake her boobs anymore and put on that big smile and wear the little boots and, do that. And yet they would hear the music, and what they would do is take her music and put it through a machine and then just go, okay, so raise up her voice and lower this and change the tune and then turn it into a pop song. No matter what it was, they would turn it, can it into, this canned music. You just pop 40 pop song. They actually altered her creative process. It was horrifying for me to see that.
It really was. All the similarities of the episode and Britney Spears, her life, her conservatorship, it just was so eerie. And you kind of talk about, I don't know that Britney has ever gone through a dark period other than, like, I'm talking more musically, other than, her life seems pretty damn dark. But the fact that they've always wanted her to sing in kind of a different register, kind of a higher pitch than she is really naturally able to sing. That kind of popped to my mind with I think a particular scene it's hard. I gotta differentiate between whether we're talking about reality or fiction. So the Ashley episode, I'll call it, which is the Black Mirror episode. The aunt, who was like her manager in control of everything, her life, her music, Miley Cyrus's character, which is Ashley, was at the piano playing music, writing like her thoughts, and they were all kind of darker. Like Claire was saying, it was like, you're growing, you're maturing, you're not talking about the same things, you're not thinking about the same things that you were when you're 20, 21, or 15, 16, however old Britney was when she first became really big. And the aunt was like, giving her medication. So she would basically only think happy thoughts and sing and write little poppy songs. It was so disturbing to think this is real.
Yeah. That the correlations, once you realize there's a real case going on that matched up to the episode, like it really hit home when I rewatched it this week to refresh myself on the episode. And I'm also following the conservatorship case with Britney and watching videos about it and like reading articles, and the things that Britney's talking about matched up exactly, like being medicated all the time. When she can be with her kids, when she can't, what she's allowed to, where she's allowed to go with them, how long she can visit with them. It all seems a little too much, considering
a little.
I know what you mean, but yeah. But I just read today that her whole medical team, which is the reason, let's be honest, like she had a mental break, like she was a freak all over for the whole world to see, shaved her head, burnt a car, crashed into this,
But maybe can we understand why now?
Maybe there was an issue in the beginning, but 13 years under medical care and supervision with counseling, and she has a whole medical team and a medical conservator, which is responsible for her personal space.
Right.
Dad has conservatorship over how all these people get paid and control of the money, and her business end, like where she performs and what she does and everything like that. But because he controls the money, she can't go to a doctor to have her, this was what got me. She can't go to a doctor to have her IUD removed.
I know.
Because she can't get permission from them. That is horrendous. Like, that is an invasion. Like, I feel strongly about anybody regulating anything to do with my uterus. It's my uterus. Like, get out of here. No law, no politician, definitely not a conservator.
She doesn't even have the freedom to even go to the doctor. Like, it's worse than just laws. I mean, those are not great either. Anything to do with your choices with your own body are not okay. Like, I get to decide, but she can't even go to the doctor to talk about it. Like, it is legal, and she can't freaking talk to anybody. She can't go and say, hey, I'm considering this, and have people give her recommendations, or even just who right now, if I went to the doctor as a woman in my 40s and said, hey, I want to get an IUD removed, no question, I wouldn't have to have any evaluation, nothing.
Your husband couldn't even say anything about it, could he?
Right.
Like, no, right. Not even your partner, not even anybody who's directly involved with whether you can conceive or not has anything to say about it, because it's your uterus, it's your body.
Right.
And then yet Britney doesn't have that right. And I really feel bad. I mean, she made a mistake. whatever happened to her and they thought she wasn't in danger, 13 years is like way too long. What I was saying is that her medical team that's behind her actually want the father removed. And they don't care if she stays under conservatorship, really, because of course they're getting paid to take care. Like they're not really pushing for her to be out. They just say he shouldn't be the one. It's causing her more stress because he's in control. Psychologically, can you imagine that you're in your 30s, 40s, and your father is still in total control of your life? That is just wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. And he shouldn't be in control of how she performs and what she does. They want to put an accountant who actually does conservatorships, a professional conservator in charge of all the business part. And to me, I think that is probably what the judge will do while they work out whether they should just end it. They should at least, because of the stress that it's causing her mentally and physically, should remove her father and put somebody else in there.
And if they really care about her well-being, if her dad really cared, which we know he doesn't, but if he really cared about her well-being, it's kind of like that saying, if you love someone, let them go. I might echo a little bit again. Then you may not be the best person to be in charge if it's causing her more stress, which in turn is affecting her physical health. Why would you want to stick around?
I don't know, but that even Mrs. Cassandra saying that really sounds like some handmade bullshit, like the Handmaiden Tale. Like it's really getting seriously. It is. It's like, and that was a great series too. That JC did some commentary on it with Aaron and a few other people. I watched some of those. That's how I met you. That's how I met you, watching those, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw you before you saw me.
Well, hey, now I've got a stalker. What?
Yeah, you got a stalker. Yeah, but you got a cute stalker. I'm pretty cute. Yeah,
you are. Especially with the little cat ears, and then especially you get cuter as the night goes on.
I don't know. Somebody asked in the chat, I think it was John, he said, if it was early, does that mean I'm only half naked? I'm not going to tell you. I won't ruin the surprise.
Nobody knows. Yeah. John was mentioning earlier too the episode about it was on South Park, where the creators of South Park were kind of shedding a light on how the media was making fun of or causing Britney Spears' mental health to be worse. Like, didn't she have an actual like hole in her head or piece blown out or missing or something and everyone's like, oh my gosh, why is she that way? It's like she's got an obvious illness, because you can't see mental illness. You can see the side effects from it. But
who wouldn't? Like, she was a star from a young age. They were all on the Mickey Mouse Club together, her and Christina Aguilera and Justin Timberlake, and everything. Right. And then she's only dating them in that small circle, back and forth, the same amount of people, you know what I mean? And they're also pop stars and everybody loves them. And then she breaks up with Justin Timberlake and his fans decide that she's a hoe. And like, it was bad.
That's the whole kind of did too. He made that song about her, which I kind of liked when I was younger, but now I'm like, yeah, man, that was kind of messed up. Maybe I shouldn't have.
Yeah, he kind of like blamed it all on her, that Cry Me a River song.
Right.
Yeah. I like that song though, but I'm not, I don't know. I don't want to age myself. I am a fan of this stupid Justin Timberlake. He was cute.
I think if we're not, I think you and I are both pretty close to the same age. So
no, I might be a cougar if I like Justin Timberlake. Just saying.
Okay.
just saying. I could get called a cougar, but I thought he was talented. But now I think he's just he's a little. I don't know.
It's fake. Fun to look back at things, right?
Yeah, I look back now and I go, God, like that's so fake. Like he's really putting on a personality here. He can't possibly be like that, But
so, what other similarities did you see between this episode and what you've seen in the media about Britney Spears' conservatorship?
What really struck out to me is like, well, in this episode, Ashley, who's played by Miley Cyrus comes off at the end like such a damn badass. Like she just takes control. She comes out of a coma, people, in her hospital gown, goes right through where they're putting up a hologram performance of her without her. and her music, and they're taking things out of her brain and making songs that she doesn't even want released. Well, she gets, with some help from the other people, into a Jeep and goes right through the auditorium, right up onto the stage, crashes and opens the door and stands there in her hospital again and just shoots her conservator aunt the finger. Just like that on stage. Yep. While she's laying there thinking she's gonna die, the aunt is. And that was just such a badass shot. But I was thinking that, for me, correlated to Britney having to come out with her voice right now, over and over again, begging to be released from the control. How much strength does it take? I mean, how mentally ill could she possibly be if all the time she is fighting to get her control back? I don't think she's that mentally ill anymore. I think she could do it. It takes a lot of strength. You know, I think she got some Miley badass in her and she is fighting for it. And I think
she has a lot more badass than we ever freaking realize, because honestly, and I'm sure her kids, I would have to say, as a mother myself, and I'm sure you can relate, I know the kids were a motivating factor in her getting through this all this time. But how strong is she for going out every day, being in the public eye, performing, knowing that she is controlled, knowing that when she sees her children is controlled, knowing that what she eats, wears, what medication she takes, everything, her whole entire freaking life, her body is not under her own control. And she seems more sane right now than I do. You know what I mean? Like, people with mental illness, just because you have a bout of like depression or whatever it may be, a manic episode, whatever, I'm not speculating on her, I'm just giving examples, doesn't mean that you can't be in charge of your own life. You have a moment. It's just like getting sick. You go to the doctor, you talk about a treatment plan with your doctor or whomever, and then you get it right, and then you get stronger, and then you keep going.
Right. Exactly. And she's trying. I mean, she has absolutely Zippo control. Even if they just gave a partial back, like if they're worried about it, you know, give her something. Let her prove herself, you know. Like John said, it's a shame that this medical team and all are just now speaking out. They've had her under control for 13 years, you know, and no one was speaking out with her, you know, and she's just now, you know, getting out there, and they have to decide what's right.
But they were silencing him. I remember hearing about, which very vaguely, back in my day, if you were, you know, I grew up teenage years, Seattle grunge, whatever, wasn't like it was now where you could like different kinds of music. If I, you know, being a Nirvana fan, admitted that I liked Britney Spears, I would be considered a poser. So, and plus we didn't have as much information on the internet that we do now. So I remember vaguely hearing about Sam Luffy, I think is how you pronounce his last name, her manager.
Right.
And of course, this was now in the 2000s when she, you know, had her, I will say, bout of medical need, and painting him out as a weirdo, a clinger, the bad guy, to see this.
Yeah, but who would know her better, right? Who would know her better than her manager, like all this time? Like,
that has been around for quite some time. I thought he just, the way the media made it seem was that he had just kind of come around during her difficult times. And that's not the case. I think he was with her not that long after her Mickey Mouse days.
Right. When she decided to branch out from Disney, you know, from that contract to do things on her own more. And she was going to start world touring on her own and stuff, instead of like, they were all touring together, if I remember correctly at that time, like a group of the Mickey Mouse people or whatever it is. I don't know the technical term, what they called themselves, but they she was going to go out solo. She was getting more and more popular, and she wanted to do more edgy. And if you remember, she started doing things a little more grown up. She also developed faster than most of them. She had a very grown up body and a very grown up attitude, and she had a lot of grown up fans. And so her manager was pushing her to more edgy content, and it worked for her. She got popular very, very fast. And so, and that's what she wanted to do. Or she said, well, that's what she said she wanted to do. So
I know who knows now, right?
Supported her. Yeah, it's hard to say because you get that big, that young. How could you not have some kind of issues? You're going to either be an egomaniac or turn into a narcissist, or you're going to have some kind of mental problems because everybody's doing whatever the hell you want, and you don't know what you want. You're too young, and everybody's doing whatever you say. Might be kind of fun to order people around. I don't know. I'm not a millionaire, but it could be. Yeah. You could see how someone could go off on it very easily. I mean, it sounds reasonable, and they should always have a protection, a net, a safety net of some time. Absolutely. Somebody that knows them close, get some mental health in there, have regular checkups. It wasn't
her parents during that time, though, was it?
Yeah, but her parents are so messed up. I mean, look at her parents. They were forcing stardom on all of the kids. Her sister, herself, very young. Her mom doesn't want to work, just wants to rake in the money. Dad, too. It's not a good situation. I'm not saying they don't care about their kids. Obviously, they're their children, and I would never say that, but it does look very business oriented and very money controlling.
Abso-freaking-lutely. In fact, the text messages that I have read, I've kind of started to go down the wormhole of her conservatorship, and not just her conservatorship, but just her relationship with her parents. I think there have been some messages that have been released or were in court records, perhaps, between Sam Luffy and Britney's mom, mentioning that something about when she was going through her divorce with Kevin Federline.
Right.
Sam was begging, through text messages, begging Britney's mom to come out and be with her and visit her, saying, I know you guys' relationship is not great, but she needs family. I can only do so much. I'm here for her, but I'm not her blood, To make it a short story, she, being the mother, only agreed to come out there, and it's in text messages, in actual court documents. She only agreed to come out there if they took pictures of her and Britney kind of hugging and talking about, and
that's a mom. Yeah. You got pics or it didn't happen. Pics or I'm not your mom.
I can't. It's just, that's not just disgusting, it's disturbing.
It's like I said, the parental guidance wasn't really there. She had some manager guidance, but right now she's an adult in all senses of the word.
She's close to 40, is she not?
Yeah, she needs to be given a second chance and need to get, if not all the way out of conservatorship, find some partial conservatorship where she can prove herself. If they don't want her to have total control of her career because they think she'll ruin it, or total control over the children because she can't be trusted, there are partial ways to do things, and they should be done not by family. They should be done by professionals,
and not by anyone that gains any monetary value. Like you and I have talked before, my son is disabled, and he will probably need something similar, if not a conservatorship, when he is older, because he would be what is considered incapacitated, which means he is not in any sort of right state physically or mentally to be able to make safe decisions about himself. I totally lost my train of thought while I was talking about that. Again, welcome to the train wreck. Thank you everyone for being here.
That's okay. We got everybody off the tracks. Let it go.
There was a reason. Oh, so you're supposed to have evaluations to see if that's actually the best option. There are other options, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be full and total control.
Right.
And when we have a conservatorship over him, he's quite young, but we still here and there kind of see what our options are for the future, because we don't want to make those kind of serious decisions just under the pressure of time, meaning even though it's really early, we just want to start thinking and talking about what's out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you need to have protection.
So far is that there would be two separate people over his life. One would be his finances, and this is more actually if my husband and I were no longer here. Mm-hmm. So I guess it wouldn't be the exact same thing, but there would be someone in charge of his finances and then someone in charge of his healthcare. It wouldn't be the same person. There would be no lead person. That person in charge of the money would have no say in what doctors my son went to, anything like that. They would just have to get a doctor's note. Okay, is this money actually going to where they said it was? Yep. Okay, there you go. It's not like her dad is, that he gets to make all decisions on everything and gain.
Well, he pulls it because he pulls the purse strings. He won't pay them if they don't do what he says. And that's the problem. Like, they're saying he interferes with what people say are good decisions for her by saying they're not going to pay. He's not going to pay. That the estate will not pay. It's not in the best interest.
Always Grateful is mentioning, like, her family has never been there for support except for the need of money. Mm-hmm. And John mentions that it never seems like there was a path towards ending the conservatorship. And I agree. Mm-hmm. Like, there needed to be almost a kind of trickle down. No, that's not the right term. Maybe she needed as intense of a conservatorship in the beginning. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Well, from what we saw on the internet, from what we all saw, what they were reporting, she was in bad shape, and they were worried about the children, and I could see some interference going on, but 13 years of it because you got your hands finally, because, remember, she was breaking away from him as her manager anyway. She had already dumped her dad, and he didn't have control. And so when this happened, this was his way back in to get control. And it was like a big, it looks to Pierre, I don't know, because I'm not in his head, but it looked like the big F you back to Britney, like, oh, you thought, you little brat, that you were going to kick me to the curb. Well, here you go. Well, here you go. And that could be why they are not, letting it go so much, because he spent years having control of the money and telling her what to do and doing her career. And then she separated from him. And now, he got it all back. Maybe he just couldn't move on. Maybe, that's what he thinks is the best for her, but it's obviously not allowing her to grow and change and become an adult. And, it's too complex. I don't think a parent should be in a conservatorship that way when it's this big, when it's got a career and money and all, and dealing with an adult. It's not like a healthcare issue where she can't, make the decisions. She obviously, if they put her through the hoops now and tested her, I think that they would see that she could, they may not like the kind of music that she wants to do, but she is the creative artist. Doesn't she have that choice? I don't care if it fails.
I don't even know that she would still perform publicly, honestly.
Well, she won't now because they want her to do certain stuff. But she goes, I don't want to do what you want me to do.
Right.
Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And she won't. But I've seen her do some Instagrams and stuff, and it does look like she's keeping herself in shape, and she does want to perform, and she is being a little creative. But, she don't want to do it for them. She's tired over the last year or so of being a puppet over there in Las Vegas and putting the shows on that they wanted. At least that's what her statement was, that she didn't want to do it anymore.
Right.
But, they're not, just because it doesn't make a lot of money, it's still her choice. If she wants to fail, if she wants to come out and be a country star or just something, a rap star, or just something totally different than what she was before, that's her choice. It's her creative process. It's up to her to.
It's not harming anyone or herself.
Exactly. And that was the correlation to the episode, is that Ashley, played by Miley Cyrus, didn't want to do pop anymore. She wanted to be more real. And at the end of the episode, when she gets her life back, because everybody's just gone, because like she proved that she could get her life back, she's out there singing like grunge, hard rock, deep bass songs in a bar full of people, and crowds and smoke, and in a smaller venue. And she's
And
all
older
just like,
people.
right. And she's all like, just rocking out really hard, totally opposite of her shiny little pop image, her little TNA image. She was all, really hitting it out, singing at the top of her lungs, and looked like she was enjoying herself. She was crowd surfing and stuff. It was a great ending because she, that's her, that's either successful or not. She wanted to take a step back and do it smaller, but at least she was proud of what she was doing. And if you,
it's a creative outlet. Like, yes, it can be a business. Yes, you can make money from it. But at the end of the day, it's just like any other art. You do it because it's a way to express yourself. And if you can't express yourself, what's the point? It's getting thoughts, feelings, and emotions out,
No, exactly. And always makes a good point. In her situation, and her net worth and the financial should not be handled by a family member. And I agree. And I think forensic accounting needs to be done, and that is like when you go backwards and you dissect everything that actually happened. I think that that's going to happen once they decide on the conservatorship, because there's a lot of things coming to light, because now her voice is being heard. And she finally got to speak to the judge. They did everything they could for years to keep her from talking to the judge. This is not the first time she's tried to get her voice heard. She has been trying to petition the court to listen to her for quite some time, and they finally couldn't stop it. A judge finally said, "You're right. We need to hear from you." And she got to talk in court. That was the first time.
I think every person, every judge, every attorney, this is like a show of corruption and abuse of power, not only with her family and the conservatorship, but just the legal system in this regard. Like, what judge says, no, I don't have to hear from her. I'm just going to trust that someone says she's not okay. And okay, let's update this again. Yep. Good to go. Like, I don't, how is that even allowed? Why these people should go to prison?
Right. It shouldn't be allowed in the legal system, because evidence is evidence in a legal system. It's not like here on the YouTube streets where you could just only look at what you want to look to support your narrative. Right. Don't worry about anything else. I mean, this is real law. And I'm glad that there's a judge that's finally listening a little bit and trying to do it by letter law, step by step. I hope the next step, because, I love that legal stuff. I hope the next step, it makes sense to me that they actually appoint a different conservator while this juggling back and forth is going on, so that everything's safe, and that she can actually then, calm down a little bit about him pushing her, and they can see it for what it is, and then actually let everybody be free to come forward. Because, an attorney or an accountant is going to allow the medical team to give testimony, whereas they're threatened right now with not being paid and being kicked off the team after they know her so well, and they don't think it's in her best interest. So they're kind of like holding back a little bit because they don't want to say anything.
Right.
But once there's a different conservator, don't you think they'll free up? And everybody, I think if they put a different conservator in, everybody's going to start talking, because they're not going to be worried about getting paid anymore, because a bill's a bill. When an accountant looks at it, he don't care who you are.
Right. That's very true. They're probably not at fear of losing their jobs, or I mean, I want to believe everyone is a bad guy in this situation, but if they can control her life that much in that much detail, what were they doing to other people? Were they blackmailing other people to go along with certain stuff? I mean, I'm sure greed was a part of it too, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
we all watch a lot of television. This happens. This happens. I would think it does. Whenever there's that much money involved, I don't think people's best self comes forward.
Unfortunately.
I really don't. I think when you get used to lifestyles and the threat of it going away, and I just don't. You hear more stories about people being really, really awful when they have all of this at their feet.
Right.
I don't know. It's don't want to judge them without knowing for sure, but it does look feasible to me. It looks feasible
I
that they've
know,
done some
unfortunately,
terrible
right?
stuff. Yeah, let's just hope they make a Lifetime movie out of it or something, and we get to
Dude,
know.
I'm waiting for the Oprah sit down. Like, do you really
Yeah.
think we'll ever hear all of
No.
it from her? I don't know.
Maybe
I hope
she,
so. I hope she,
you know,
not just for my own personal, like, I want to know, like, I just want to know, but just for her own, she can say whatever the hell she wants to say, you know, just for freedom. I hope she gets to say everything and anything she's ever wanted to.
I hope she does like a memoir, like Britney says, Britney talks. And I agree with Wendy. She said, I'm just glad that some of the massive public outcry is finally having some effect on this. And they can't just ignore stuff the way they did before. It's true. And that's why like her voice is getting heard now, because like everyone's demanding it. So she must be well enough to use Instagram and TikTok and everything to get her fans involved and to get people to listen.
And perform. I mean,
and perform.
Holy crap.
So,
someone
so
who's by the definition of incapacitated wouldn't be able to perform like that.
That's right. I don't think I'd be thinking about, Instagram and TikTok and my fans, or anything like that. She's well enough to want it back in some capacity, and they should work with her to get it back. So
agree.
So this was good because even those that didn't see the episode were able to understand what we were talking about.
Yes,
in
and if you
relationship
haven't
to
watched it, you have to watch it. If only just for this episode. If Black Mirror, which it is very dark, a lot of episodes can be quite triggering. Even though I had seen this episode before, even though it's not as maybe visually triggering as others are at times,
let's just call it mentally stimulating, because I don't know. I don't want to consider myself freakish that I don't find myself triggered by it. I do consider myself very thoughtful afterwards. Like I got to think about what they were saying. You know what I mean?
I feel a little like, whew, after I watch them though. Like I just...
Yeah, but that's, if I watch something, that's what I want. Like whether it be visually or mentally stimulating or with my ears with music, or like I want to be overly stimulated by it. Like I want to be reached.
Like really,
I want to feel altered. I physically want to feel altered if I'm going to give you an hour of my time. My time's valuable. I don't want to just walk away going,
No, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but man, I just felt like I needed to take 500 mental showers after that, especially watching it the second time, because again, there were so many truths, them grinding up pills and putting it in Miley Cyrus's character's food, the aunt looking so much like Lynn Spears, Britney's mother.
I know that was creepy that they made her look like
never
her.
like yeah. There's so many obvious things in this episode that I'm like, how did I not know this was about Britney Spears? I guess because I didn't know how freaking horrible of people they are.
Yeah, but you know what? It could be about so many more than Britney. Like Britney is the one we're focused on now because it's so huge. But how many of these young stars are going through that same thing? True. Maybe not with a legal conservatorship, but with what happened to Miley, Miley on the episode, is that they were having meetings without her on her creative process, on her mental health, on everything, without her involved. Like that's just wrong on every level.
Yeah.
And like you said, the one time that like they controlled her diet and everything, like so she didn't gain any weight, so she looked good in clothes. And then the one time she gets takeout, they ground up all her pills and put it in her food to put her in a coma so they could steal songs from her brain. Like even if you watch the episode just for the AI concept that they did in this and how freaked out it was with Big Brother, like they steal your thoughts from your brain. Yeah. They made an AI doll that had her whole personality in it. And no matter what you asked this doll, it could answer as her. And that is how she actually saved herself, because she was in the doll. It was freaky. Yes.
It was really freaky. The doll did try to kill the real self for a second.
it'll make you give Alexa the side eye for a while. I'll tell you that.
Seriously, absolutely, it's creepy.
Yeah, but I read Huxley, so I'm okay. Like Big Brother's watching all the time anyway, so I don't
everywhere all the time. You're everywhere. Never alone, even if you want to be.
Yeah, but I'm not an Alexa fan. I don't like Alexa. I don't like her at all. I don't. No.
Oh my goodness. I know one more similarity that I want to point out that, again, I didn't notice the first time, that I want to see if you thought the same way. Speaking of that meeting where all of those on her team, so to speak, in the fictional episode, who do you think, in terms of in Britney's life, do you think the guy with the little earpiece, and that was in basically the last scenes with her, who does that remind you of in Britney's life?
The bodyguard, who?
No, not the big dude, the one at the very end, that noticed the sisters were up there in her room, and
the doctor that was prescribing the medications and everything.
Was that the doctor? I thought.
Yeah, that's the doctor. That's the doctor.
I thought he was like a assistant manager or something like that. He always had an earpiece.
No, because she said to him, remember in the meeting, she said to him, they all did. You don't mean the guy that was dressed in black, the big bodyguard guy that was at the house?
No.
The one that they threw because we forgot to tell you how you got to watch it also, because their father, the girls who were helping Miley,
yes,
the one sister is a big fan, and the other one is like a goth bassist that just like is mad at the world. And they played off each other really well. But their dad was a basement inventor, a genius, and he made an electronic rat that would actually be attracted to other rats, and it was like a taser. And so this is what they were using to take everybody down. Like they threw a rat at this guy and knocked out this like 300-pound, 7-foot dude, straight out with a little electronic. I mean, this girl was what, 5'2"? This little,
yeah, she was very petite.
So it was worth it for that. There were some funny parts. There were some really good parts. It was entertaining as well as thoughtful, and as JC said, a little triggering as far as if you get deep into it, but it was really good.
I guess it can. I don't think this episode so much was, only if you think about it and trying to put yourself in Britney's shoes, like, oh my God, some of this is just so, this is what she's been talking about. And you just, I have a hard time going to sleep at night knowing that this is possible. To control someone to this degree, but so I find that part triggering, but this episode itself, not so much. But the other episodes in Black Mirror, some of them are pretty dark.
No, they are. Like I said, I'll give you a trigger warning for that pig one for sure. I was like, but
you will never want to eat bacon again. Well, yeah, you will, because I still eat bacon.
Yeah, you will.
But you'll think for a second there.
Oh, it was Trump. It was
that, Amanda Bynes is also on a conservatorship.
Yeah, there's several like of these young stars. It happens because they get big fast, and like they're not ready for the world because they're so performing. They're not really getting the life lessons we all get, day to day with our parents and everything, and
right.
Having friends and circles, and being with people, breaking up with people,
and being able to do it privately, or at least way more private than someone that's that big of a celebrity. Like, I'm so glad my teenage years, yes, the internet started coming out in my teenage years, but it was like little chat rooms. I did not grow up in the time of Facebook and everything like that. So all of my drunken mistakes are hidden possibly somewhere on film, like, Polaroids or some shit like that, but they ain't on the internet. So I think it's different when you're allowed to do dumb, embarrassing things, natural, normal teenage things, or early 20s things, or hey, sometimes even early 30s things.
Right.
Without the world looking at it under a magnifying glass. We've all done dumb shit. We've all done embarrassing stuff. I mean, I don't know about you, but I was a little bit of a punk ass teenager here and there, you know? So I didn't have the whole world critiquing my every move. Maybe just my parents, but that was it, you know?
I agree. I totally agree. Always Grateful said Britney said she didn't even know what meds she was actually taking. That's got to be illegal. Like informed consent.
It has to be.
What? That has to be illegal. And John said that Amanda Bynes actually got a tattoo on her face during her conservatorship, so nowhere near as restrictive as Britney. Yeah, because I can't imagine. That's like messing with the product there. If you put a tattoo on your face, that's her public image. You know, she's also a pop star of some type.
Yeah, she was a kid comedian, I guess, if you will, on like a variety show. What was it called? It's All That or something.
I'm not remembering the show. I know the name though, because I remember reading a lot about her on the internet, some articles. So she's an actress, right, John?
Okay, gotcha.
That's what I thought.
No, Miss Cassandra, there will be no Kanga finding embarrassing stuff on me. In fact, you don't even need to look it up because I will probably do embarrassing stuff online.
That's my strategy.
Right
I
now.
just do it. Yeah, I do it every Saturday night. Yeah,
exactly.
I just run with it. No, yeah. Can't be embarrassed. You're out there doing it publicly anyway. What's to be embarrassed about? It's true.
And when you get older, it's kind of like, fuck it. Who cares?
Like, who cares? you got your I don't give a fuck truly intact. I know. You're just like, who cares? You know, if you don't have your humor about it, then forget about it, you know.
Yes.
But on that note, since you brought up social media, Mrs. Cassandra, and Sue looking for all of this stuff, this embarrassing stuff, the next episode that we want to do is from season 3, and it's called what is it called? Nosebind or something like that, and it's with Bryce Howard, and it's about social media, and it's about like the Chinese point system on. Yeah, it's really good. It's definitely more about social media even than this one.
Yes,
it's really good.
Very much so. Again, it'll definitely make you think, kind of like that Alexa moment. A lot of the Black Mirror is kind of around technology and social media and how just society interacts with it, how it affects our day-to-day decisions, our relationships. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, Always Creative says that's also a great episode. I'm glad you like it because I think it kind of relates to how we are all spending so much time on the internet right now and how social media is actually playing in our lives more with the since the pandemic.
What are you talking about? I'm never on the internet. I don't even know what you're.
Yeah, right. Because I met you at the laundromat. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, just like I did all those fine people. We were shopping together somewhere. You know, went to a farmer's market.
I met you at the Walmarts.
I don't. No, you'd never meet me at a Walmart, girl. No. Is it only because of family ties with union organizers, man? They would probably like throw me out.
There you go.
I can't go to Walmart. No.
Hey, I don't necessarily go there. I have it delivered to me. Thank you, COVID. Walmart delivery. What?
Everybody delivers. Everybody delivers now. It's great. It really helped my life because I hate chores like that, like those kind of chores, like shopping and
yes.
Yeah.
Wendy Beans is mentioning, have you seen this episode? I actually have not. It's the Bandersnatch episode of Black Mirror. I think that's the one that's supposed to be like more interactive. I actually never have. Have you watched that one, Claire?
If I did, I'm not recalling, but we can put it on the list. I mean, we have the one coming next, and
that is
if
true.
You guys are, if we can even get 2 people to watch us, we'll do it again. Because, like,
heck yeah. And next week we're going to be on Claire's channel, so we're going to kind of flip flop around, and also Black Mirror is on Netflix. If we haven't mentioned it,
it is. I see all seasons up there. I can get back right now all the way. So if there's one that you guys seen, you'd you guys know how to reach us on Twitter or Instagram, or I have my email on the back of my channel at Walmart. You can go find JC at the Walmart. But let us know, because we're really like, I like this series because of the social commentary end of it, and I like to be entertained, and I like things that make me think, and then I like to talk to you all about it.
Yes, it's really fun. I'm so stinking excited. Again, I think I've told you before, I've tried to get a lot of my real life friends to be into Black Mirror. They may have watched an episode or two and they're like, JC, what the heck is wrong with you? I've tried to get my husband to watch it and he's like, nope. So I just want to share my excitement of the series with someone. So this has been awesome.
I will do it with you. My friends, no, they won't. I have a niece and a nephew that watch some of them with me. Actually, my niece is the one who watched the first episode with me. She said, have you heard about this new show that came out? And we watched it when it first came out. We both sat there with our mouths open for a while, you know. But it wasn't a child. This was an adult niece. Like, she was of legal age.
Yeah.
So once you see the episode and you start sending me hate mail because she watched it, no, she was an adult. She's quite a young. She's going to be a veterinarian, and she's also an avid protester. Like, when she gets causes, she's one of those people with the signs, and she's out there organizing and planting trees, you know, and she's an activist. And she takes her vacation and she goes and saves sea turtles. And another time she went to one of those.
Oh my goodness. My daughter is obsessed with turtles. And we just recently, I know this is completely off track, but we just recently went to a sea turtle hospital down in Georgia off Jekyll Island. It was amazing. So we'll have to talk about that more too. I just saw something in the chat and then now I can't find it.
They said I had an echo for a minute there, but it went away. Tales from the Crypt, John, I loved that show. And okay, now I'm really dating myself, but did anybody used to watch Mystery Science Theater 3000? Like when they used to play. We are that nerd, aren't we, JC? Because they used to play the terrible B-movie horror films, like, you know, the Killer Tomato and the big rabbits.
Basically what we kind of are. It's kind of full circle, except we're not watching it live because we get
now we're creating
strikes, but yeah.
Is that it? That's our true goal, is to be the new modern YouTube Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh my God, we'd be so proud.
Okay, so there you are, our people there in the chat. They know what we're talking about. I'm thrilled.
Awesome.
You see? Yeah. Oh, and the giant spiders. Yes, John. See, we have so much more.
We all found each other. We
are all freaks. Yes, we are. But we're well watched and well read and literal freaks. Like, we're educated freaks up here.
Right.
But it was good.
We're smart weirdos, man. We're smart weirdos.
Or
at least I pretend to be smart. I pretend to be smart on TV.
It was like, well, we got to get better at being smart on YouTube. I don't know. But so on that note, because we do have plans for the rest of the evening.
We do. We gotta start taking our pants off and get ready.
Yeah, it ain't easy being a naked bear. It's not. Like, I got some prep to do, because I really, I just want to let y'all know, just a head up, just to make you a little prepared. It is National Orgasm Day. Like, orgasm day, like all over the world. Australia, yes, Sue.
It's not just in the United States?
In Australia, it's not just the United States. It's in Germany,
hey,
the UK.
Sue. Wait, that would have been yesterday for her, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was yesterday, the 31st.
It's belated. It's belated. She can still celebrate. She can still celebrate.
Because I didn't find out till late. I don't know how I didn't know about this, but I didn't find out till late. So we got some interesting things,
Miss Cassandra is getting ready. or has been ready all day, apparently.
Oh gosh. Well, whatever floats your boat, however you're comfortable. Any last words? I mean, for me, just everybody, if you get a chance, watch it. If not, it did say a lot about the conservatorship. At least we got to talk about that. And I see you're all well versed in Britney's struggles, and we can all just keep an eye on that and hope that she gets the results that Miley got and gives the give somebody the middle finger soon, that would be great.
Absolutely. And
Get her
rock
power
out
back.
whenever she wants to.
Exactly. And I can't wait to hear something she produced, she puts out there herself, and see if she's, where she's at creatively. That'll be interesting to see.
It will be. It'll be like a happy moment when she can be in control of her own life as is safe for her. However that is. If it's all the way, man, all the way.
Right. Well,
I'll be so happy for her.
I will too. And I hope that you guys will come to the next one.
Yeah.
And if you have any suggestions on other Black Mirror,
we take requests.
We take requests. We'll watch it and we'll talk about it, and you can talk with us, because that's the fun part, is that you all get a say too. And
it really is. So watch that next. What was it called? Nosedive? Is that the next?
I think it's called Nosedive or Nose Blonde. It's the one with Bryce Howard. And it's season 3, episode 1, I believe.
Season 3, episode 1.
And Bryce Howard is Ron Howard's daughter with the red hair, and it's about
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so she's very talented, actually.
Cool. All right. Well, we're gonna head over at about midnight to Clearstream.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, this was awesome. I can't wait to be talking about this on your channel next week. Claire,
I can't believe I get to express my inner nerd and be naked on the same bed. This is great. This is like a best Saturday ever.
Thank you guys for being here, and I hope you had fun too. And we'll see you, pants or not, at Clearstream later on.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.